My next guest is the Executive Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer of the Atlanta Hawks basketball. Her career has taken her from the ball girl to CMO.
Yes, sir.
Please welcome to Money Making Conversation, Melissa Proctor.
Thank you very much, and I'm so honored to be here with you today.
Thank you. You look fantastic on a rainy day in Atlanta, and you came in looking, as they say, fantabulous. But let's talk about the Atlanta Hawks.
All right.
Okay, because you're the CMO. Please tell everybody, what exactly is the responsibilities of a CMO?
Well, CMO duties and responsibilities vary depending on the organization. And so with the Atlanta Hawks, a lot of it is obviously marketing and advertising and the things that you see out there to get you excited to want to come to the games, the promotion. But in addition to that, there's so much that happens behind the scenes. Okay. And so everything from what we do on game days to the execution, the cheerleaders, the mascots, all of the production and the people that make the show
you're
go.
Involved in that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Huge team of people behind that are involved in that on a daily basis.
Right. I didn't think there was you.
not by myself. Absolutely not by myself. In addition to the retail, so our store, all the amazing Hawks gear that you see people wearing around the city, that as well. Our social media, all of our amazing brand voice that we have on Twitter, on LinkedIn especially. We're doing a lot of cool things on social. So that team as well. All of the videos that you see that come out around the Hawks. And so there's a big team of people
I'm going to slow you down because this is a lot. Because I didn't think you'd get... I thought it was going to be like a couple of sentences, and now you went from social media to T-shirt sales to the actual cheerleaders. So just tell me a day in the life, one day, like Monday. You're on the radio show with me. When you leave here, how does it start?
Well, when I get to the office, we have a number of meetings, and a lot of it is just approval. So right now, one of our big priorities as an organization is really this arena transformation and what we're doing with that. So we have some meetings coming up of how we're going to cover the market and let everybody know all the amazing things that are coming to Phillips Arena at probably around October. So October of this fall, the entire building will be redone and completely renovated.
Now, some changes have happened already, correct?
Oh, yes.
Okay, because I was kind of confused because I was going like, I was just there. I went there for the New Jersey Brooklyn Nets.
It wasn't Jersey.
The Brooklyn Nets basketball game, and I was in the suite. So I was up there with free food and everything. I was up there looking good, girl. Nobody's sweating on me. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I just, first of all, it was let's talk about the renovations that are there now and what's going to come in the future. Let's talk about the changes now.
So last summer, we closed for the entire summer, and we did a lot of behind-the-scenes work. And even now, if you come into the building, there's some banners up where some of the suites are still being renovated. But currently, we have our courtside club, which has been an amazing new innovation for the building. So a lot of the courtside seat holders now have an amazing new club where they can go during the game day. We have a court that's literally on the floor. So behind the backboard, you'll see...
That's the logo, right?
You see the Hawks logo on the floor. And so now people can actually stand out there and watch the game. And a lot of that has happened on football, but it's never really happened in basketball. So here in Atlanta with the Hawks, we're really trying to be innovative and be different as we target.
It really works because y'all logo allows to create that kind of like that bar design. Because I've seen it. I went, that's pretty slick because it's right behind the basket.
And so there are a number of people who are now taking that opportunity and want to be down courtside. It's very exclusive. So you can only get down there if you have those courtside seats. However, it's one of the first things that you can go in.
So homie at the top.
Well, there may be some opportunities if you're in a suite, like you are. You'll have those opportunities.
I love it. You're up at the top. Well, you got to just look down and feel the love.
But next season we'll have a lot of different things for people who are even up at the top.
Okay, cool.
So
let's
a lot of new bar spaces.
Let's stay right here. I want to go to the next season. I got 2 breaks with you, because this is what you do for a living. And sometimes when you tell your story, you tell it so fast you think people hear it, but they don't because you just you're a machine. You constantly want to sell your brand at the highest level, and you're excited about your brand. Okay, let's talk about some of I saw golf over there. Talk about barbershop.
Yes.
Okay.
Killer Mike Swag Shop.
So let's talk about that now. I saw Killer Mike barbershop. I went, okay, and I'm bald head, so I was ruled out.
Oh no, they got stuff for you.
They got stuff for me. Okay,
absolutely.
Cool. Let's talk about those changes that really caught me off guard.
So all of those,
and we're talking about let's let everybody know we're talking about the Phillips Arena in Atlanta, Georgia, where the Atlanta Hawks play, as well as all concerts come through there.
Big acts.
I know I brought Steve Harvey there several times, and we sold out several shows. I'm going to brag about it at the Phillips Arena. And now you guys have renovated it, and we're talking about the changes currently, and we have some in the future.
Yes, so we are transforming this into an all-new building under the same roof. And so it's going to be phenomenal. So a lot of the changes that you're talking about are ones that aren't going to come next season. But, you know, one of the signature items that we're bringing in, kind of three big things. One is Top Golf. So many people are familiar with Top Golf just as an experience. And so we're literally going to bring Top Golf into the building. And we're creating these Top Golf swing suites where you and a group of guests and all the folks here on your team can go and enjoy a basketball game and play golf in the swing suite at the same time.
Okay, cool. Here's the players might get mad at you, just like the Atlanta Falcons players mad because there's nobody in the stands sometimes, you know, because they got all this activity going. You're getting your head shaved, you know, swinging the golf. You at the little bar down there behind them. Where are the people in the stands? So how do you balance that?
Well, you know, we really think that by creating exciting basketball on the court, period, people are going to come out and watch that. But everyone comes to a game and has different experiences. So even if you come to the game now, it's a social activity.
There you go.
And we really target next generation Atlantans. So we know it's about the bars and hanging out with friends and being able to connect with people. So even the idea of the swag shop. You know, we were at a barbershop. That's where, you know, people go to interact and talk trash and do all of that. But we will literally have 4 barber's chairs there where you can get your haircut while watching the game at the same time.
Now, here's the fun part about this conversation is that because it has changed, you're telling me, Rushion, look, we have to entertain on the court and off the court.
Absolutely.
Now. And what do you think has created that shift? I mean, you know, first it was about Wi-Fi. Remember, they wanted to make sure you have Wi-Fi so you can watch the game on your cell phone. Now it's like physical activity that can keep you not only your interest going, okay, let's go to the game. You go, well, oh, you know something? We're gonna go hang out at Killer Mike's, his swag barbershop, or let's go swing some golf balls at the Hawks game. That's really phenomenal.
Well, I mean, I think for us, you know, that coupled with amazing food, we have Chef Joe Schaefer, who was formerly at Bacchanalia, who's now our executive chef.
See. She said that name real quick, like, see, I'm a professional eater, okay? We talking about in Las Vegas now. That is the best buffet in Las Vegas. Now, if they got crawdads on that buffet in Las Vegas, so I know he know what he talking about. So you know, she threw that name out like I wasn't gonna catch it. You know, a lot of people don't catch that, but you're looking at a foodie.
I can tell.
Okay, and if I'm just gonna verify this with this dude, if he's the man from there, you need to start eating at the Hawks games.
Well, there as well as the other restaurant Bacchanalia here in Atlanta, but he is bringing a whole new direction of the food and beverage to the arena, and so I really believe that through all of our guests. I mean, you know now, especially with millennials and we call them next generation Atlantans, there's so many things that occupy your time. Attention spans are so much shorter than they used to be. So for you to get up off your couch.
Yes, ma'am.
And to get out of behind your iPad to come to a game, we're all about the power of live entertainment. And you mentioned selling out Phillips Arena, all the big shows and the concerts.
Absolutely. I took my daughter there to see a concert, and it was just phenomenal. And I want to talk about a little bit about Tinder night.
Yes.
Now, Tinder? Everybody know about the social app, dating app called Tinder.
Connect with friends.
It has brought a tremendous amount of positive publicity and made your basketball games even more social. That one couple has recently going to get married at the game because they met at your Atlanta Hawks Tinder night.
So 3 years ago we did the very first one.
Who thought of Tinder night? That is brilliant.
It was a combination of folks, you know, and our CEO, you know, Steve Coonan is incredibly creative.
He's funny. I met him. He's funny.
And so, you know, the idea was, how about if we take something that we know our audience is doing in the digital space and bring it into the physical space? And so if we were going to allow people to connect online, they can just come to our building. We'll give them an opportunity to connect physically with each other. And so that was the first Tinder night. And we had a love lounge, and people can come up and meet each other in the lounge. And so a lot of people connected.
I had 2 of my employees who participated regularly in your Tinder night. So I knew about it before I even went to the game, and they thought it was fun. They thought it was innovative. They felt no pressure So it was just like another cool option, and they were ticket holders.
And even if you didn't know it was Tender Night, you can still come out and still be a part of it, which was really exciting for fans who were just coming and learning. And so literally after the first one, we said, hey, Steve said, if anyone meets and ends up getting married, we'll take on you. We'll have your wedding here at Phillips Arena.
Married at on the basketball court?
Center court at Phillips Arena this Saturday.
Has the date been set yet?
Mm-hmm. This weekend. This weekend.
So to explain the scenario, how they're going to get married. Is it halftime, before the game?
Oh, no, not during the game. They are literally having their wedding in Phillips Arena. So there's not another event happening during the game. It's literally
fantastic.
Their wedding happening on the court, and their reception will be in our new courtside club.
It doesn't feel like a throwaway.
Not at all. This is a special experience for them, and we wanted to make sure that we can kind of show.
You're going to be there with your social media. You're going to be good, girl. You're going to be shooting video. I know you CMO. I know that there is a game plan here.
Well, they're really excited about it. We're partnering with Tinder and with the Knot. And so, David's Bridal supplied the dresses for the bride and all of the bridal party. So it should be a really great event. And we're very happy for them.
I'm happy, too. I saw a cute couple.
Yeah,
I saw that picture.
Adorable.
And I wanted to bring that up because I thought that was very innovative. And like I said, and when it launched, it got a lot of the cool national buzz that you guys thought of that. So when I look at what you guys doing, if you've not been to an Atlanta Hawks game, I'm telling you, go. And it's not about the record; it's about the experience. When I say
Absolutely.
that, what you guys do with the kiss cam, with the cheerleaders, with the mascot is almost globetrotterish. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all are so entertaining. So I laugh.
It's creating an experience. Even now hot sauce is kind of one of the new things that we're doing as a part of our game, and he's taking people on, and it's really exciting. And we think for people of all ages coming down to a Hawks game and really experiencing what we have this season, but next season knowing we're going to take it to a whole different level.
Oh, okay.
With the transformation.
That's going to be the next break because we're going to run out of time on this break. Because I want to keep this focused here because you got information. Because I really want to talk more about that experience, especially from the social. Because I've been to about 5. I live here in Atlanta. I've been about 5 games, and I recently went to a game this year, and the experience has always been fun. And I like the way you are able to, through social media, have people take pictures, and then so you keep them connected even if they're not at the game.
Right.
That is so sharp, and so that's what your team does.
Yes, and on a regular basis coming up with new ideas and new ways that we can kind of entertain our audiences. For example, coming out at the beginning of the season, really looking at how we even tell people what the schedule is and doing a schedule release with emojis.
Right.
Earlier on. And so we're constantly trying to find new ways that we can innovate. And we look at, when people say, who is your competition? Which is a really great question because they assume it's, whether it's the Falcons or the Braves. And for us, our competition is your couch. It's the movies.
Absolutely.
It's every restaurant in Atlanta.
Absolutely. So we're going to be back with more. We're with the CMO, know-it-all CMO of Atlanta Hawks. She's fantastic.
We'll be right back with more from Rushion McDonald and Money Making Conversations. Don't touch that dial.
Money Making Conversations continues online at www.moneymakingconversations.com and follow Money Making Conversations on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time you stop thinking about your dreams and put some plans into action.
Hey, this is Tasha Evans, and I love to eat at great restaurants. And more than that, I love great desserts. So does Rushion McDonald. Check out his new website. That's www.rushionmcdonald.com. That's RUSHION, and McDonald is spelled just like the famous restaurant chain. Guys, Rushion is looking for great bakers for his Baker Spotlight. He wants to brag on his fans for their incredible baking skills on his social media and website. That can be your mom, friend, coworker, or relative. Spread the word today. Visit RushionMcDonald.com.
Hi, this is Rushion McDonald, the host of Money Making Conversation. You say to yourself, who calls Rushion's show? Ricky Smiley!
You got to get out of your own city and leave in order to grow because a fish don't get bigger as long as it's inside of that fish bowl.
Yes, sir.
A fish get bigger when you put it in a pond.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the phone the one and only
Charlie Wilson.
So many people have really been trying to get me to do a gospel record for so many years, and I have been promising God that I would shout him out to do something.
Right.
I said, and
Burn rubble. There goes my baby. Come on, man. Put a little Jesus in them songs. Come on, brother. Miss Patti LaBelle.
And you know what I'm going to be doing? Concerts in little clubs.
Thank you.
With the trio.
Woo!
So that I can touch you when I'm singing with my hands.
Thank you.
See, I told you. Be there every Monday, 10 a.m. to noon. Biz 1190, Money Making Conversations. Hi, this is Rushion McDonald of Money Making Conversations. I'm interviewing the Executive Vice President and CMO of the Atlanta Hawks. At the very start of my interview, I said from ball girl to CMO. And I don't want to gloss over that like everybody can do that. Explain your journey and take your time, because my show is about inspiration, motivation, overcoming the odds. Whether you're an employee or an entrepreneur, you need to understand that your story of success and your journey, and you always know that every time you get up, it's still a journey.
Every day.
That's a long way ago. Well, a long time ago, say ball girl. Talk to us. Come on now.
Sure. When I grew up in Miami, Florida.
Okay.
Born and raised in Miami, and my mother's from Belize. My father's from Jamaica.
My wife is from Belize.
No way.
Absolutely. We really buddies now. She's in Houston right now, so she's going to love this. Okay?
Yeah. So, growing up, I spent either summers in Belize or in Jamaica or Miami. And I remember being in high school, and I was always an artist. I would draw and paint, and I was the art girl. And in high school, I decided, I really wanted to get a job. And I said, Mom, I want to get a job. She was like, absolutely not. Then she said, you know what? You can get a job if you decide you're going to get a job in whatever you want to be for the rest of your life.
Okay.
And at the time, I loved art, but I also had a cousin that loved watching Miami Heat basketball.
Okay.
My parents weren't into basketball, and I said, I really like this basketball thing. So I said, Mom, I want to be the first female coach in the NBA.
Okay.
I had never played basketball in my life.
Okay.
I didn't know how that was going to work. And so my mom said,
Nor has the current coach of Miami. He was a projection operator.
Right, yeah, Eric Spoelstra. So, Courtney's story about that. So she said, okay, Melissa, if that's what you want to do, go work for the NBA. Go work for the Heat. I said, all right, Mom. So I started writing letters.
Okay.
Wrote letters, decorated, put my artwork all on the envelopes. I would call Yellow Pages, making phone calls before email and all of that. And so ultimately,
how old were you here?
I was 15.
Okay.
15, and I kept calling. And one day, the community relations person answered. He said, I'm sorry, I have no jobs for you. Try the equipment manager. So I started calling the equipment manager and writing letters to him. And then one day, he called me back, actually, and he said, if you call me one more time, I'm not going to hire you. And I said, okay. So I stopped, and then I kept on calling. And one day he said, kid, you got a lot of heart. I don't have any jobs for girls. All I have are ball boys.
Okay.
But, come in for a game.
Okay.
Come in for it. It was a preseason game against the Orlando Magic. Never forget. It was the Miami Arena.
So no didn't stop you?
No did not stop me.
Good.
Absolutely not.
Listen, that no did not stop her.
Perseverance was key. And so I went in, had never been to a game before, never set foot in the arena before, didn't know anybody, had never been not even a live basketball sporting event. I had no idea what I was doing. They told me to rebound. Balls hitting me in the head. I had no clue. And so, that game, it showed me how to mop. And so I mopped the sweat up around,
That's funny.
Free throws. And at the end of that night, he said, kid, you got a lot of heart. And I said, oh, thank you. He's like, well, come back again.
And a big smile, because you have a big smile now. It's just amazing.
He's like, come back again for the next game. And it was a volunteer job, and it didn't pay.
Absolutely.
He said, you got to keep up your grades. You be here at 4 o'clock every game day and stay till about midnight when we finish cleaning the locker room, hanging uniforms, folding towels. He said, it's grunge work. He tried to discourage me. Oh, you're not going to like it. And I was there every game. I kept coming back and may get $20 as a tip. Yeah, I kept coming back every game. And one of the owners' sons was a ball boy as well, and his sister would be on the sidelines because she couldn't do anything, so she started seeing me. We became the first ball girls for the Miami Heat.
So you got her involved?
Got her, didn't even know it, just being there. And so it was a really great experience for me, and I learned so much. And I would, Stan Van Gundy, who's now the head coach for the Pistons, was an assistant under Pat Riley, and so I would help him run drills with the players, and players would teach me how to rebound and how to shoot. And so I really started learning the fundamentals of the game. I knew I was going to be a coach. And so I ended up, I had my artwork, and I would still do gallery exhibitions. Some players would buy my art because they loved it so much. And it was just a really great experience for me. And ultimately, I decided to go to Wake Forest for undergrad. And the team said, we don't want to see you go, but anything you need to get to college, we're here to help and support you.
Awesome. Mm-hmm.
So it really became like family.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric Spoelstra, who's now the head coach, was the tape guy when I was a ball girl. Mm-hmm. So it's really crazy how the world works. Mm-hmm. And so I went to Wake Forest, and every summer I would come back and volunteer and help out with the draft, with free agency, putting together scouting reports, you name it. And then ultimately, senior year of college, I said, all right, I'm going to go work for the NBA. This was my dream. Maybe not be a coach, but I'm going to go work for the NBA. Mm-hmm. So I applied for a management training program.
Right.
Had Pat Riley and Alonzo Mourning writing me letters of recommendation.
Big dog.
I knew I was in there. And then they turned me down and said I was too creative. They were a business, and I was too creative. And so at the time, I ended up also applying for an internship at Turner Broadcasting right here in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. That's how I ended up in Atlanta. And you were
creative, and they wanted your creativity.
They did. Mm-hmm. And I ended up getting picked up by TNT Marketing. Mm-hmm. It was an internship program where thousands of people applied. They only picked 6 interns, and you don't know where you were working. Mm-hmm. So TNT Marketing picked me up, and that was my first marketing job when I first moved to Atlanta in 2002. Mm-hmm. And I made no money as an intern.
Absolutely.
Money-making conversations. I wasn't making any. And so ultimately I said, let me call my old boss from the Heat. Maybe he knows someone at the Hawks. And he did. And they put me on, and I became a ball girl that first season with the Hawks as well.
No money again?
No, they paid. It was part-time with the Hawks. So things changed a bit since then. But I came in, and I was a ball girl for the Hawks and an intern at Turner. And that was the year the All-Star game was in Atlanta.
Right,
so I got to work on the court for the All-Star game. And I believe,
that big traffic jam that year.
I was working, so I didn't experience any of it. But I believe nothing was a coincidence. And that was my entire experience. And that was the first year I lived in Atlanta working for the Hawks as a ball girl. Was with Turner for about 10 years. I left for a year, went to graduate school in London and focused on brand development. And then ultimately came back to Atlanta, had a number of different jobs at Turner. And then most recently, I was part of a digital health and wellness startup called Upwave. Turner had invested a lot of money into it. Was really thinking about the future and, health and content and how you can bring those things together. And then, the old CEO of Turner, Phil Kent, left, and the new CEO, John Martin, came in. And at the time, it's a difference in strategy for the business. And so that was the last business they started and the first business they cut. And there were about 35 of us that got laid off. At the time, I was about 8 months pregnant with my daughter. And didn't know what I was going to do, but I had to focus on having my baby girl.
Right,
and so
absolutely.
I did. Then about 2 months later, I went to an event at Phillips Arena, a draft party, and ran into Steve Koonin. And he said, hey, it's great to see you. Congratulations on your daughter. I need help building this brand.
Absolutely.
This brand for the Hawks. And started introducing me to people. And they're like, oh, we can't wait for you to start.
That's Steve. That's how it works. I went to lunch with me, said I should hire you. I went, I didn't ask for a job.
And so I started consulting and going and helping and having a couple meetings. And then, lo and behold, a couple months later, I started out with the Hawks as the VP of brand strategy. And then very quickly got promoted now to CMO. And the crazy part, thank you so much. And I said nothing is a coincidence. When Steve left Turner, he couldn't necessarily take any talent from the company. So if I hadn't gotten laid off, I probably wouldn't even been able to be where I am today. And so, I was really thankful just through building great relationships and, really being persistent, 100% truly important.
Two things come out of your interview. Two things about relationships come out of this. And also the fact that money wasn't the end all in your decision making. Because a lot of people allow money to stop them because they don't see a bigger opportunity. And the bigger opportunity was getting in the door.
Absolutely.
And that's an amazing thing that I hear in your story. And it's consistently spoken out, and it's consistently spoken with a lot of energy and high expectation.
Well, for me, I always want to do great work because to me, that's the ultimate plan. And I remember asking Steve, he said, you know the reason why you're CMO? And I was like, no. He's like, because you didn't want to be. And I said, that's interesting. He was like, some people are driven by the title only, not even about the work, just the title and the money.
I think they want to bring somebody in here. I don't know anything about this, Ms. Proctor. I don't even know what is happening here. But somebody's coming here with a big box. They're going to hand it to you. If you on Facebook, you can see the big box. If you're not on Facebook, let me describe what this big box is.
Oh,
it's for me!
Happy birthday.
Oh, my God. They shocked me all the time. I'm thinking this is an honor for you,
The
Ms.
one-handed mirror
Proctor.
box. That's your box.
This is beautiful. It's a money-making conversation hosted by Rushion McDonald. Cake. Happy
birthday, sir.
This is, girl, I believe me, I was mad at him. I said, dude, I cannot go on air unless I have information about what they honoring her about. He said, we gonna work it out. And then when she comes in the hallway, I go, okay, she in the hallway. I need for her to come in here.
So let me just say, this is Melanie Weidman. A slice. What is it again?
A little slice of heaven.
A little slice of heaven.
A little slice of happiness. Come on over here now, because he off mic and can't nobody hear him.
I'm just saying.
Okay, so explain to everybody what type of cake you got for me. It's my logo, Money Making Conversation, hosted by Rushion McDonald.
Absolutely.
So my name is Melanie Weidman. I'm the owner of A Little Slice of Heaven Bakery, and Adele wanted something special to surprise you with for your birthday, so he contacted me.
Well, I think I appreciate it. I really do appreciate you doing this for me, and I'm stunned because I'm one of these guys that just rides right through the birthday. I just ride right through, and I've learned to appreciate it of late, and people have made me appreciate it. And I would tell you, this is the coolest thing for me. Make me feel like a celebrity.
You are a celebrity.
We got to get out of here. Melissa, you got to come back.
Absolutely.
Okay, we got to talk about the second half of 20 when this arena opens up in the fall.
I'm happy to come back. We'll tell you all about it.
Tell Steve hi, and I'm going to drop our game and say hi to you.
Let me know you're always invited.
Okay, thank you very much.